Hey there, YouTube. So this is my, well, it's pretty much my 100th live stream. It's technically my 101st, but I was thinking to myself, well, I've always liked the movie 101 Dalmatians. And sometimes I feel like a bit of a Dalmatian myself. Not really, or I don't know why that would be, but you know, like the spots and just being kind of different, I guess. Like, I don't know, Dalmatians aren't really that common, are they? Like, they're well known enough, it seems like, but I certainly don't recall seeing them very often throughout my lifetime so far. Are they rare? It seems like maybe they would be, or maybe like a little bit, I don't know. But yeah, I've always really liked the movie 101 Dalmatians, and I do like that number. So yeah, technically my 100th live stream was actually me filming Taz last night. I like how that was exactly 5 minutes even. It says on the timestamp, it's 5 minutes exactly. So I like that. And honestly, like, I don't even remember if I thought to myself when I kind of like last moment, like kind of split second decision, decided to try to film her for that few 5 minutes at the end of the night last night at the club. I don't remember if I was thinking to myself like, oh, this will be my 100th live stream. I honestly can't even remember if that crossed my mind at that time or if I was thinking that. That was at the very end of my 10-hour shift. And last night was also my 4th 10-hour shift in a row. So this was the very end of the night, last 10 minutes. So at that point, I was kind of just out of it as usual and tired, and I wasn't really thinking very much. I was just kind of like, I'm pretty sure at that point I had already put on, like, you know, my street clothes to go back outside, like my winter boots and stuff like that. And, you know, was like gathering up my stuff, my 9 cans of soup, that I have to, lately when I've been going to the grocery stores before I go into work at the club, I don't know if I can actually say this or not, but I'm telling myself I'm trying to go on a diet like this month. So I've been trying to get like soup, I guess. But it's been so cold here lately that if I were to just leave the cans of soup in my car, after I get into work at the club, like for those 10 hours, the club doesn't close until well after midnight. So they would freeze in my car pretty much. So what I've been having to do lately is all the like canned goods, any kind of groceries that I get that could freeze, which is most of them, especially like the canned stuff and soups and stuff, I will lug in to the club with me and put them in my locker, one of my lockers that I have there. So that's fun. And then at the end of the night, I have to try to remember to get that out and, you know, bring it back to my car with me and stuff. So yeah, the end of last night, I was kind of just like doing that. It was the last 10 minutes and I have all my stuff. I go over to the balcony that overlooks the stage and I see Taz stretching down there, and I was like, you know, just like heart eyes, like seething jealousy, but also heart eyes because she's awesome. So I was like, you know, yeah, I don't even remember if I was thinking about it being my 100th live stream or not. I was just like, wow, that has to be on camera. Or I don't know. I was just like, let me just go ask her real quick. So I went downstairs and I asked her. So that was actually my idea. Sometimes when Taz and I do lives together, sometimes it's her idea and sometimes it's my idea. But this time was actually my idea. And so I went down to the stage and I asked her, I was like, are you okay if we do a live of you right now? And she was like, yes, you know, like I didn't think she would say no. That would be kind of, I feel like that would be out of character for her to have said no. So, and she was just like, yeah, of course. So, but it's kind of funny because I think you can kind of tell in the video, I was telling her she was doing that middle split with one leg out to each side. a lot for the stretching before we started the video, and I told her, I was like, you know, when you do that middle split, that looks so good, especially from the top of the balcony where I just was. So when I first started to film her, she originally, at the start of that video, she did the middle split for like a few seconds, and then she stood up and started to get off stage like she was already done. And she looked up at the balcony at me, and I was like, no, like, keep going. So I'm really glad that she kept going, because again, that first middle split only lasted a few moments, but then when she kept going for the rest of the 5 minutes, we got some good footage. Like, I haven't watched that back on my laptop. I actually haven't, it's only 5 minutes, and I actually haven't fully watched it back from start to finish yet, because I did work till close last night, and I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to come out today, but it is sunny out today, and tomorrow is supposed to be cloudy, and then Saturday we're supposed to get snow. So I knew that I wanted to do my 100th live stream, and I was like, I don't want to wait till next week. Like, I actually did have a few things. Originally I was saying I might have topics like not related to the club that I wanted to talk about for this next video, like today or whenever I was going to get around to my 100th video or 101st video. But I actually do have mostly club stuff to talk about for this video yet again. But yeah, I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to come out today, but I kind of, like, in the back of my mind, knew that I was probably going to want to try for it if I was able to. So yeah, I haven't watched back my last, actually no, I did watch back the video of myself that I did earlier yesterday before my shift. I watched that back on my phone at the club last night, because last night it wasn't super similar to last Wednesday, the week prior, overall, but it was kind of similar in the sense that there were a lot of dancers, again, there for that night. So with there being so many dancers on rotation and at the club, I wasn't going on stage like very frequently. I was having to wait my turn in line for a while. So in that downtime, I had a chance to watch back the video that I did earlier that day, and I did really like that one. But I haven't really had a chance to fully watch back the one of Taz from last night. I watched a little bit of it from the balcony, the same area that I took the video, just there that same night at the club, just to try to get a few different thumbnail options. And it kind of sucks because her performance that she did, even for just that 5 minutes, was incredible. And my phone, the quality on my phone is just not great, you know, like it's kind of staticky, kind of fuzzy. The pixelation, like the video quality, I wish I had better video quality on my camera to get that footage, because I was able to get a lot of good thumbnails, but most of them were just kind of blurry. And the one that I ended up going with, I love that one. I love all of them, but that one was kind of like a little less blurry than the other ones. I don't know. And then when we were doing that video, shortly after she got off the stage, she came up to the balcony, and I wasn't really too sure what to do because I'm pretty sure I already had my street clothes on at that time, and I was just super tired, not feeling very great, you know. So I don't know, I think I was thinking like, well, if she I wasn't sure at first if she was going to come up to the balcony after she got off the stage. So I was like, well, if she does, maybe like I should try to film her like talking on camera up here, or maybe I should try to have her film me go down there and do a couple of things myself on stage. But I just wasn't feeling up to it. Even if I had still been wearing my club clothes, I just don't think I was feeling up to it. Maybe I was still wearing my club clothes. No, oh, you know what? Because yeah, I had been wearing my regular, I was wearing regular 7-inch boots that I normally have been wearing for a while now, all up until the very last like half hour of the shift. And then the last half hour of the shift, I switched into 8-inch boots that were borrowed from another dancer. And not the same ones from the night before, because the ones from the night before I will never try to wear again. If you watch that last video, you'll know why. But these are a different pair of boots that I've worn before and done somewhat okay with. They look like they're patent leather, but they're not the same kind of patent leather that I prefer that helps to provide a better grip on the pole. This type of patent leather is just different and it doesn't really grip the pole that well. And yeah, this was the end of the night and I just didn't really feel up to it. Kind of sucks because there's a lot of stuff that I do on stage that I have been wanting to get on camera, but honestly I just don't look that good on stage. I mean, I just don't. I do have some pictures and some videos of myself on stage and at the club that I do really like, but I also have a lot that I don't like. Like throughout the years that I've danced and stuff, I've occasionally had other people take pictures and videos of me on stage on their phone and also sometimes on my phone as well. And I've also done some videos where I just put my phone like on the side of my bag and kind of had it propped it up on something to just do it that way. But depending on the angles, depending on the lighting, I can look pretty bad, like very easily. I'm the kind of person where it sucks for me being a stripper. It really does in many ways. I'm like the worst person to be a stripper pretty much. I don't know how I'm doing what I've been doing for as long as I have. It's been a long suffering process for me. Yeah, in case you can't already tell from watching any of my videos at all. But I'm not photogenic and I'm not confident. The list goes on and on and on and on. And for me to try to look somewhat decent and not absolutely horrific to where I'm gonna like start crying about it, the lighting and the angles have to be just right. And usually it's something that I want to try to do myself. Like I want to choose the angles. I want to choose the lighting. If I leave it up to somebody else, there's a 95% chance it's going to turn out bad. With a few exceptions, there have been times where other people have taken pictures or videos of me where I've actually liked how it turned out. But that's taking a pretty big chance for me where it's much more likely that I'm not going to like how it turns out or how it looks. And in the past, I think I've only done one live stream of myself on stage at the club before, and that time it was just my camera in the side of my bag. It wasn't another person like filming me. So like these days at this point, so much has happened to me and accumulated throughout the years of just horrible things that I would never be able to hand another person my phone and trust them to have it in their hands. It doesn't matter who it is, like anybody in the world. I just wouldn't be able to trust any other person with my phone. Like they could lose it, they could drop it, okay? Like it's either on purpose or on accident. Even if it was like an honest mistake on accident, it could happen. So I just could never do that. So how I did it in the past, I look back and I'm like, damn, I can't believe I let somebody else handle my phone in the past. But like in the past, bad things had happened to me, but it hadn't been as much of an accumulation as now. Like as time goes on, it just gets worse and worse and worse, and there's just more and more and more. So I'm at the point now, and I've been at the point for a while where I don't trust anyone. That's going to be how it is for me until the day that I finally die. I mean until the day that I die. So yeah, I'm not too eager to get more footage of myself on stage, although there's a part of me that is. There's a part of me that it's just like, especially doing it live, I've never, other than that one time I filmed myself live on stage, that's the only time that I've done it live. All the other times that I tried to film myself or take pictures, well, obviously, but any other time that I got video footage of myself at the club, it was not live. But I really don't have any other option now with my phone because my phone's out of storage and has been for a while. So I really can't even take regular videos pretty much at this point. That's why I do the lives. And it's so stressful for me doing the lives that I have to put a rubber band over the top of the screen to cover up the view count so that I don't have to be driven crazy by the number of viewers like changing constantly, like from 0 to 1. or maybe more than one at some points. Like, that just stresses me out too much. So, so yeah. Sorry, I'm pulled on the side of a side street right now, so all these cars are like zooming by me occasionally. I'm on my way to Walmart. Yay. I'm not gonna be going into work tonight. I usually don't work on Thursdays for reasons. I might actually try to do a day shift tomorrow if I'm able to get up on time. My favorite manager's working tomorrow. It's kind of funny. Oh yeah, because my shift yesterday, earlier on in my shift, I was doing my video in the parking lot at the club, and my favorite manager, he usually lately hasn't been working like at that time on like Wednesday day shifts, occasionally, and he did used to in the past, like a while ago. But so I wasn't expecting him to be working yesterday, and it was a very pleasant surprise. And when I watched that video back, I remember when he pulled into the parking lot, he pulled in and he parked next to me. I mean, he normally parks there, but I was parked where I wasn't expecting him to be there that day, but I was just parked. I just so happened to be parked in the area where he would normally park when he does work. So he pulled in next to me, and in the video, you can see my entire face just lights up. I'm like, oh my gosh, my favorite manager is here. And it's kind of funny because when I've talked about him, I mean, I've mentioned him a lot here on my channel and in many of my videos before. Like, I don't want to say almost all of my videos before, but quite a few of them, a lot. Probably the majority of them, to be honest, which is embarrassing, obviously. But so, yeah. Pretty much any time that I mention him, my face just kind of like, you know, like lights up and like heart eyes and stuff, and it's embarrassing. He has a girlfriend, and he's also going to be leaving the club very shortly, in a couple of months. So, but yeah, after I did that video yesterday, I went into the club. He got there, I remember he got to the club at exactly 3 o'clock, which at the club that I work at, that's pretty much smack dab in the middle of day shift. So I was kind of like, well, why would he be getting here now? At first, I didn't think that he was actually going to be like working the shift. Like, maybe he was just stopping in to do some kind of random thing briefly. Because I was like, well, like, why would he be here in at the half start or the half point of a shift? I was like, is he going to be staying to do night shift, or is he just covering for a few hours for the day shift? I was obviously hoping he was going to be doing the night shift, but he didn't. He just stayed for the remaining 3 hours of the day shift. But like, normally the remaining 3 hours of a Wednesday day shift, like last week and just the times that I've done Wednesday like afternoon shifts in the past, they've been very, very slow. I mean, pretty much all day shifts are usually slow, like extremely so, but every now and then, you know, there'll actually be like young, cute guys there. So that was actually the case yesterday. So I get to the club yesterday. Oh, and I remember saying when I pulled into the parking lot, part of the reason I was parked where I was it was a few spaces away from, the entrance, like further away from the front door than I would normally want to be. And I remember the reason I parked there is because there were other vehicles and other parking spots closer to the front entrance where I would normally park. And I remember I said in that video, I was like, why aren't my favorite parking spots available? Like, why are there these vehicles here? Because 9 times out of 10, when I go in at that time, there's nobody in the club. So I was like, there can't actually be people here. I was like, why are there vehicles here if there's not going to be people when I go inside? But lo and behold, when I went inside, there actually were people there. And not only that, but they were like young, cute guys, and they were all by the stage, like tipping and stuff. And this like never happens, okay? Like, this never happens. But when it does, every now and then, it's like, oh. So yeah, it was like a combination of that, plus my favorite manager was working. So when I got in, my cortisol levels, as usual, through the roof. I can't believe that there's these young, cute guys by the stage actually tipping. So I'm still in all my winter gear, obviously, and I have all this stuff to do. I have this bag full of 9 cans of heavy ass soup to try to lug up the stairs to my locker and get that all locked up and squared away. And I gotta take my socks, my 3 pairs of socks off, my pants off, and then put my 3 pairs of socks back on with my stripper shoes. You know, like the socks that I was wearing yesterday and lately have been, I'm not wearing them today, but they've been like the long thigh high, like 2 pairs of long thigh high socks and then a third additional pair of socks over that. But because I have my pants on underneath, in order for me to take the pants off to just be wearing my club dress, I have to take the 3 pairs of socks off, then the pants off, then put all the socks back on. You know, it's a real process and it takes time, and I'm not patient, although I do try to be, but it's just not my nature, or my lifestyle just doesn't really allow for that very much. So, if at all. So I was like really, really anxious. Normally what happens for me, the few rare times that there's actually guys by the stage tipping, I will tend to miss out on that just with bad timing. Like pretty much all the other managers will usually seem to try to make it to where I'm somehow just magically like not able to be called onto stage at the times that they're there. Like, you know what happens a lot? I'll be on stage for hours, just like covering stage, stretching, doing my thing up there, with nobody at the stage, nobody in the club. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, somebody will finally come up to the stage and say they're like a young, cute guy or whatever. That just so happens to be the time where the DJ booth calls on the next dancer, and I miss out on that. So that's what I'm used to happening to me. That happens most of the time, that kind of thing. That's just how things usually are for me at that club. But my favorite manager, it's like, I want to like get myself off of not being so like mentally, emotionally attached to my favorite manager, but it's really difficult because he's awesome. And so pretty much any other manager that works there, they either, I don't know, I don't really know how to put it, just never mind. But because my favorite manager was there yesterday, I went up to the DJ booth where he was, and I was really anxious and eager to at least try to go on stage while those guys were there. And so I was like, hey, like, you know, I just got here, you know, like, I'm wondering when I'm gonna be on stage next. And he was like, oh, you're 4 dancers away. So basically I would have had to wait for 4 other dancers to go in front of me. And I was like, oh crap. I was like, is there any chance I could possibly go on sooner? And he was like, oh yeah, I'll put you on next. That's just how he usually is with stuff like that. So, cause he's just awesome. So I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, I don't know, maybe some of the other managers would, honestly, again, I just don't even want to go there. It's whatever. But so like when he's not there anymore, pretty soon that's going to be a lot less likely for that kind of thing to be able to happen for me. So anyways, I don't want to think about that now because I'm trying to stay in a good mood. So yeah, but well, there was one other dancer that was still going in front of me, but that was like fine, you know. So like I'm anxiously waiting for my turn to go on pretty soon. I go back in the kitchen, I see all of these new coffee bags. A lot of times there's no coffee. The club used to provide coffee, but for a while now it just seems like they haven't been. And so a lot of times there's no coffee there, but if there ever is, it's usually because employees bring in their own or bring in stuff for the club like themselves. I actually don't drink the coffee there because I have really bad OCD to where I don't usually have very much stuff in public settings. Like, I don't like sharing dishware or utensils like in public. Oh God, I see people commenting. I'm not supposed to have the comments on right now. No offense. I'm putting a post-it note over you. I don't want to see it. Oh God. So YouTube, any electronic that I have just does what it wants on its own accord, regardless of what setting I try to choose, because everything messes with me. I don't want comments on here. I'm not trying to be rude, but I put a post-it over it. I'm not looking at the comments, and that's not supposed to be on here. Like, I literally put on the setting not to have comments. So I'm not doing that. You're covered in the post-it. No offense, but it's not my thing. So yeah, I don't drink coffee at the club. I do drink coffee in general. I love coffee. It's like my favorite thing in the world practically. But that post-it better stay on. I got a rubber band on top and a post-it at the bottom. Like, I'm not into it. So yeah, but I don't drink coffee at the club because I don't like sharing public utensils or like just public dishware, etc. I'm kind of weird like that. So, but what I was so anxious to patiently try to wait for my turn to go back on stage, that oh, and that actually happened last night too with the video for Taz. When I did the video for Taz, I specifically clicked to have the comments off like I always do. And I did notice that the comments came on anyways. So I'm honestly over like anything electronic. It's just like my laptop back at my apartment. It's not even worth going on because these things have a mind of their own, and it's literally 100% just to mess with me. The quality is less than crap. Like, it's I do my YouTube like most anything else I do. It's just to try to convince myself that I have something to, oh God, my post-it's falling. Just to try to convince myself that I have something to do when really nothing is worth me doing at all. Like, it's all just kind of hopeless and rigged by terrible things, it seems like. So anyways, I was so anxious to go on stage last night or yesterday. This was still the afternoon. This was still earlier in the shift. So I sound like kind of bitchy right now, but I have reasons. I don't like to be that way, but I have reasons. Many reasons. So I'm like so anxious, and again, I'm really not a patient person, although I do try my best. That's just, again, not my nature. Lifestyle really doesn't allow for it anyways on top of that. So I noticed, like, out of the bags of coffee that somebody had brought in out back in the kitchen, one of them had already been opened and poured into the coffee maker machine. So it was just like an empty bag of coffee grounds. So I'm just walking around back there, and eventually, well, I've obviously felt stupid doing this, but eventually I walked back out into the rest of the main club area, just like huffing this empty bag of coffee grounds, just like to get the coffee smell, because I do love coffee. I don't drink it at the club for reasons, but coffee in general, I do drink it in general a lot, and I just love it. Like the smell, the taste, oh, I just love coffee. So I was really anxious. You know how like when people like in the movies sometimes are like trying to like relax themselves and not have like a panic attack? I wasn't gonna have a panic attack over this or anything, but it just kind of reminded me, like walking around the cuffing this bag of coffee grounds. It was hazelnut flavor coffee, so the color of the coffee bag was like a light brown. So it reminded me of when people in the movies are trying to like get their breathing right or whatever, and they're like huffing into a brown paper bag. I haven't seen this in a lot of movies, but I think it was Runaway Bride. Runaway Bride, Julia Roberts was doing that, like, I think at one point. I'm pretty sure that's the movie I'm thinking of. But anyway, so I'm pretty sure she was like wearing a wedding dress doing that, like before one of her weddings. She was like freaking out and like huffing into a brown paper bag. I don't know how that's supposed to work exactly, like why that would do anything, but anyway, so I'm huffing into this empty, like, not huffing, I'm just inhaling. I have this brown empty, like plasticky empty thing of coffee. Coffee had been in it, so it has the coffee smell. I'm just like sniffing it, like, oh, coffee, calm me down. And I mean, I went out to the rest of the club though, because I wanted to like see how things were going out there, and I wanted to see like the guys at the stage and like see how that was, you know, like it wasn't the kind of vibe where I was just going to be able to like be out back not seeing what was going on. Like I was like anxious to go on stage. I was like trying to wait to go on. So I'm like, I have this coffee thing up to my face, like, anyways. So I haven't actually looked at my notes yet, but I do have them right here. So I'm gonna look at them now. Right here at the top of the paper, I have the part about the coffee. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Okay. So yeah, the prior shift on Tuesday when I first got to the club was pretty much the total opposite. Like nobody there, more like how it would normally be, like 9 times out of 10 with like nobody there, and just me kind of like trying to take it easy, pace myself and stretch on stage, get warmed up a little bit. Whereas yesterday, because there were those guys at the stage and they were tipping, when it was my time, pretty shortly after I got there to go on stage finally, I just like went for it, you know, like I didn't warm up, I didn't stretch first, I just went on stage, went on the pole, and my favorite manager, I think, gave me a few extra songs up there. So I was up there for a little while getting a good workout, I felt like, and that was awesome. But I was very tired after that, obviously, and very sore. Oh, and then yeah, my favorite manager did leave at the end, like a few hours later at the end of the day shift. But this happens a lot, more often than not. Like this happened, I'm pretty sure Monday night or Sunday, where my shifts are just so much better when he's there. Like the workout that I get, me being on stage, like, and I don't like, I'm obviously happy in the moments when that happens. Like that's what I like crave, and I'm like, yes. But like now that I know he's well, I've known that he's leaving for a while, but now that it gets closer and closer, I'm like trying to like fall out of love with him, you know what I mean? Like, or force myself to. So it's like, but like goodness and like awesome things just seem to like follow him wherever he goes, and like he just has that like law of attraction, or like that kind of vibe where like happiness, positivity, good things just seem to like be around him pretty much all the time. Like it's just like part of his aura and part of his personality and just who he seems to be as a person, where like just awesomeness all, oh, my post-it's falling, just awesomeness all around. Unlike myself, unfortunately. I try to be like that. I wish I could be like that. I wish more people could be like that, you know. But so it's like I want to try to force myself to fall out of love with him, but it's just so hard. It's just so difficult when, like, how do you do that when it's like anytime you're around them, it's like stuff just happens to where it's like, no, it's like more like I'm just like, that was a great shift, or a great start to the shift yesterday with him there. But then I'm like, damn, like this just makes it, this is just another thing that makes it more difficult for me to, you know what I mean? Not just have even stronger feelings for him, because he's just awesome. So I don't know. It's just one of those things, I guess. But oh gosh. And also, you guys, okay, so I'm like folding up my notes and putting them to the side now. I'm like, I have a thought to go on without having to look at those for a moment. So later on in the shift, this was, oh God, my post-it. What do I need to do to cover things? Like, post-its aren't sticky enough. What can I do to, my Swiffer pad? I still have my Swiffer pad. Yes! Bye-bye comments. See, so I'm already gonna apologize for this stream right now, because having the comments on will probably just ruin the entire stream. Like, it's probably not gonna have the right, it's gonna lag and be staticky, and oh God, I'm so sick of this stuff. Why can't anything just not mess with me, like, for one moment? I'm so sick of it. All right, this will be my 101 live stream, and then after this, if this video doesn't go okay, I'm done with this. Like, there's no point in me being on my phone, being on my laptop. I want off of all electronics, and then I officially won't know what to do with myself ever again. Oh God, go away. There's a school bus coming up behind me. I don't know. Go away, go away. Goodbye. Okay, they're gone. Here comes another one, I'm pretty sure. This area is by a school, by the way. Oh, and on top of that, the area where I am right now, it's been a long time since I've done a live stream from here. I have done a couple, maybe one or two, possibly live streams. I know I've done at least one, possibly two or three live streams from this location in the past, but it has been a while. From what I can recall, though, this area in general is not good as far as the live stream quality anyways. The connection just doesn't seem to go very well over here. Maybe it's all the traffic. Normally there isn't this much traffic around here, but I guess it's because this just so happens to be the time that school is letting out. I was originally going to have this be a driving video, but so I pulled over to the side of this side street to start the stream, and then I thought that shortly after, because I wanted to start it like from a still location where I could get a thumbnail and just like start it. And then I thought that a few moments after I was just going to pull off and drive away, like drive to Walmart where I'm intending to go pretty soon. But I don't know, once I started, I kind of like this spot right now, other than my concerns about it being kind of laggy with the connection from before. But it has been a while. It's been so long since I've actually streamed from this location that I can't recall exactly how bad it was before. But my point is that with it already being laggy from this location from my memory in the past, having the comments on here additionally will probably really, it seems pretty likely that the combination especially will really affect the stream quality. And my stream quality to begin with, no matter where I try to stream from, is just not great, you know, because of my phone and because of all my electronics being messed up and being messed with, etc., etc., etc. The list just goes on and on and on. It's not, it never has been, unfortunately. Anyways, so it was a pretty good start to my shift yesterday, but then my favorite manager left, and then I was sad again. And then later on, this guy comes in. So I've mentioned in quite a few of my videos before, there were these two guys that used to work at the club years and years ago. They used to be DJs at the club. I had a very strange, tumultuous, kind of complicated situation with both of them, where I was pretty much tipping them whatever money I was making at the club. The situation was to where I was giving all of the money that I made to them for reasons. They weren't literally forcing me to, like, I don't know how that would have worked out, but I've said this before, I'll just try to go over it briefly again. There's a smoke machine at the club. Right now, the type of smoke machine that I'm allergic to it, like very, very allergic. It makes me very sick. And other reasons, I just don't like it in general, but it also physically makes me very sick. So right now, when it's on, it's a continuous stream that just runs by itself. Once it's on, and it stays on and just kind of goes and goes and goes and goes until they shut it off. Back in the past, it was a different version, a different type of smoke machine, where it was the DJs in the booth controlling when it went on and when it went off by like pushing a button or whatever it was. So it was totally up to the DJs in the past when the smoke was on, what times, how much, etc. It was being run by them. So they were kind of abusing the situation with my allergy to that smoke stuff to get me to tip them, basically, all the money that I was making. So that has affected me very much, and I'll probably always have a level of PTSD from that, just psychological damage and stuff. I mean, I have PTSD already from other stuff that's happened before in my past, and even now that currently still happens. I just, you know, I have some stuff that's bad. But that has added to that, you know, quite a bit. And it has been years since either of them have worked at the club. So since they've left, and especially now that the smoke machine is a different version to where it's not the DJs controlling it, things have, for the most part, gotten a lot better as far as that situation for me. But it's still an issue for me. I mean, that's a big part of why I'm not gonna try to go into work tonight, which I might have otherwise, you know, since I'm already out and it's a nice sunny day again over here. So, but yeah, especially these days, it seems to be mostly like towards the weekend, like Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. Those are the nights that they use it. And even though on the one hand, it's nice that it's not the DJs controlling it anymore, because obviously like that's a very easy situation for them to abuse. But the downside of the way that the smoke machine is now, with it not being the DJs doing it, the machine is just constantly pumping out the smoke to where it doesn't stop. Like, again, once it's on, and it just continually goes all night long, nonstop. So you really, for me personally, like I can't see, I can't breathe, and I get very sick from it. Sometimes I've come close to having panic attacks. I almost died in a smoky room when I was a teenager. So there's a lot of stuff with this situation for me that really affects me in very negative ways. I've tried to tough it out throughout the years in various different ways as best I can. I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to talk about this. Like, this was going on for years and years and years and years. This situation first started back in 2017, and I was actually 17 years old. Go figure. I was actually 17 years old the time that I almost died in a smoky room. So that just adds to the psychological horror of all this for me. But so yeah, 2017, that's almost 10 years. This has been going on for a very long time, just the situation in general. And the particular aspects of those two DJs that used to work at the club years ago, my situation with them with that was going on for a while, for years and years. And for the longest time, I wasn't sure if I was ever going to be able to talk about it. That's a big part of my YouTube, is trying to just like face the stuff, address it, talk about it, verbalize it out loud, that kind of thing. Anyways, so one of those guys in particular, out of the two of them, worked at the club for a longer period of time, and him and I worked together off and on throughout the years. He would come and go at the club. A lot of times he would just kind of not quit, but take a break from working there for a while and then come back months or sometimes even years later. So that went on for years as well. I'm pretty sure he stopped working there for good, or I haven't seen him working there since January of 2023. So it's been over 3 years now since he's worked there, as far as I'm aware of, or since I've seen him working there. But every now and then he comes into the club. Up until very recently, I hadn't seen him for a while. And yeah, he was there last night again. He was there, I think, last week. So yeah, up until very recently, I really hadn't seen him much. Maybe a couple years ago, or I think last year. Up until very recently, I think it was last year that I had seen him, and briefly. But then last night and the week prior, last week, I'm pretty sure he was there. Last week when he was, and normally when I see him there, I do get very anxious. It brings up a lot of bad stuff. So once I notice him there, when he's there, I won't go on the pole, or I'll try not to. I'll be extremely on edge, and it will really affect me to where I don't want to be seen by him. He was also extremely mean to me on top of all this. So if I were to even just try to go say hi to him, I'm pretty sure, like I have in the past, you know what I mean? And he'll just get mad. Like, he'll get really upset and be extremely, extremely rude, extremely, extremely mean. So it sucks, you know? Yeah, last time, I think it was last week when I saw him there, I had already gone on the pole before I noticed that he was there. So then when I noticed him there, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, it brought me way down. And I was like, well, thankfully I already did my pole, you know, for a bit, so I can just calm down, not calm down, but I was more on edge, but I was like, all right, well, I already did the poll for a bit, so I don't know. Then I just stopped doing the poll, you know what I mean? Because I had noticed him there. Last night when he was there, I noticed him before I went on the poll. So, but when I noticed him there at first, there were so many dancers there last night that this time it wasn't my turn to go on stage again for quite a while until after I had noticed him there. So I had some time to kind of like, it's like, okay, I noticed him here. And then I had time to kind of just like process that and like think about how to go from there, like what to do from there. So I'm pretty sure that was when I just went upstairs into one of the more private areas near the VIP, like kind of like the lounge area. I just went up there and charged my phone, and I think that's when I watched back the video that I had done earlier that afternoon. And that took a while because there were a lot of dancers on rotation to go on stage before it was my turn again. And then eventually, when it was my turn to go on stage again, I've been obsessively checking the parking lot for my car because a few days ago, I noticed that I had lost the spare key to my car. I think I actually noticed that. It's all jumbled in my head right now, and I'm not really looking at my notes like this exact moment or for a few moments now. I might have actually noticed my key missing the same time that I saw him there before, like before last night. So last week, this time that I saw him before last night might have even been this past week. Again, last night was my 4th hour shift in a row, and I think I did that the week prior as well. So this stuff does get very jumbled in my brain. It's very difficult for me to try to keep straight. Anyway, I had misplaced my key, or I fully lost my spare key to my car recently. So whenever that happened to be, I know it was around the same time that I saw this guy at the club last, which adds to stress. So I've been obsessively going out to the lobby area to check on my car. Again, I try to park as close to the front entrance as I can. So last night when I went out to the lobby area to check on my car before I went on stage, I saw that guy out there smoking a cigarette. I mean, he smokes cigarettes a lot ever since I've known him. So he was out there smoking. So I was like, okay, so I can go on stage and he'll be outside smoking a cigarette for this time. So that time I was able to at least climb the pole while he was outside. I didn't do a pole trick like I would normally try to do. But oh my God, excuse me. I didn't mean for that to be out loud. You guys, I didn't mean for that to be out loud. I'm so sorry. I am wearing a corset. I don't know if you can really see. I can't see the bottom of my screen because I have a Swiffer covering it, the Swiffer pad. I'm wearing 2 corsets actually. It's been a while since I've been wearing the double corsets. I'm wearing a black one and then the red one. It's been a while since I've added the red one on top of the first layer. Ooh. That was soupy. I had soup again earlier. Sorry. So normally I would try to do a bowl trick. Normally I can hold my burps in for the, like, not fully, but to where like it's not out loud like that. I apologize. How unladylike. Not that I'm ladylike at all ever to begin with, but I mean, I try to at least not be too bad with things. Oh, golden retriever. Fluffy! Oh my gosh. That's like seeing a squirrel practically. I love squirrels, by the way. My grandparents had a golden retriever when I was a kid. It was so tolerant of me because I remember I would like yank on its fur. Not yank, but I mean, I was like a little kid at that time, so like a little toddler, like a terrifying toddler. So anyway, oh yeah, so he was outside smoking a cigarette. I did go on the pole. I was at the top of the pole like contemplating the pole trick thing. I mean, also, yeah, this was my 4th 10-hour shift in a row, so last night I was just trying to like take it a little easier, pace myself, not do as much pull. Also because I had already done quite a bit of pull earlier on in that shift when I had first gotten there and my favorite manager had been there and all those cute guys were there at the stage. So towards like the rest of the shift after that and towards the like end of the night, I was just kind of like whatever, like just trying to take it a little bit easier, you know what I mean? So I was at the top of the pole and I noticed that he comes back in, this old DJ guy comes back in from smoking a cigarette. So he walks back in, I'm at the top of the pole, and I'm like, okay, no pole tricks. I'll just stay perched up here pretty much as long as I can to just pass the time and pass the rest of the songs until I can just get back down off the stage in one piece and get off the stage and go away. So he can't see me anymore. So that's pretty much what I did. Oh, but when I didn't actually just like gently come down the pole. When I came down the pole, I did somewhat of like a kind of like move or pole trick that I like to do, where once I got closer to the bottom of the pole, I went back down to the floor in a middle split. So basically what I do is I drop down from the pole to the floor with my legs out to each side. Middle split, but what I call it is a drop split. So for me, that's a drop split for me. That's what I call them. So it wasn't like I just did nothing up there. I mean, I don't fully consider a drop split to be a pole trick for me. It's not really a pole trick per se, and for me in my mind, it's more of like a stage move, like a stage trick or something like that. But it's at least something. It's not like I just literally did nothing up there. And then I also, after that, I did this kind of like, again, I wouldn't call it a full pole trick. For me, a full pole trick for me personally is going upside down in the pole. That's just my protocol, or that's just my like mindset for it. Otherwise, it's like a stage move or a stage trick. So, but after I did that drop split, I did do an additional stage trick or stage move where I was closer to the stage floor, like the floor of the stage, and I put one leg up on the pole, one leg out to the side in the air, and then the leg that's outside in the air, sticking out, I put my opposing arm on the other side out. So I'm basically balancing, I'm holding my weight on one arm and whichever leg, it's usually my left leg, that's propped up on the pole. So one arm's on the ground, my right arm's on the ground, my left leg's on the pole, my right leg's in the air, and my left arm is in the air. And I try to have my left arm line up with my right leg out in the air together along the same parallel line. And I bring them in towards each other. So I have them straight out and then I bring them in, and I do that a few times, out and in. And then I also bring my right leg up to like click the pole with my shoe, and then back down to the floor to tap the floor. And I kind of twist it around in a clockwise or counterclockwise motion as I'm doing that. This is one of the things that I would love to try to get on camera, on film sometime. But like, it's one of those things, like most of the stuff that I do on stage, like when I can feel like I'm getting it pretty good, like how I like to get it, it feels good for me. I'm going by how it feels. It's more so for me than other people. Like, it feels good, but to other people and on camera, it probably really doesn't look that good or look sexy. This particular move, I've gotten still pictures of part of it, but obviously because this move most of it is in motion, I would like to get a video of the parts of it in motion, you know, like the movements that I do with it. And obviously you can't do that with still pictures. But I've gotten pictures of with my leg and my arm out. But a big part of the move for me is me bringing that leg and that arm in towards each other, and then kind of rotating my leg and my ankle around counterclockwise to come up and click the pole and come back down and click the floor. And kind of, I do that a few times. It's a lot of core. I feel like it's mostly like core strength for that move. And then I'm also using, obviously, my right arm pushed against the stage floor to push myself up. I'm using my right arm and my shoulder muscles a lot for that. Anyway, so I did that. So that's better than not doing anything up there and just standing up there the whole time, you know what I mean? That's what my brain tells me to do anytime that I see him there at the club, or occasionally I'll see the other DJ guy that used to work there too. Anytime I see either of them, I'm just like, don't do anything, just stand still, you know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, it's not like I just did nothing like that. I at least did a few things while he was there last night. So back to my notes. Let's see here. Oh, well, okay, without even looking at these actually again right now, part of what I wanted to say about that, even with how messed up that whole situation was for me with that guy, I think because we had worked together for so long, off and on throughout so many years, and I'll be honest, physically, I am kind of attracted to him. Taz always makes fun of me for that because he's not like a traditionally, I mean, he's not like a model or anything. Like, he's not like, I don't know. I don't have a type. I don't go for like traditionally attractive necessarily. I mean, sure, I do sometimes, but that's not like my only criteria for being attracted to somebody by far. Like, I never really know exactly what it is that attracts me to somebody. It's usually a combination of things, and also like usually a pretty big X factor that I can't always put my finger on. Anyways, I'm physically attracted to him, I think. And but also I think part of that attraction or whatever, we had a very difficult working relationship, and he's always been pretty mean to me. There were times especially where he was very, very rude, disrespectful, and just outright mean to me. Like pretty bad, you know. And I never saw him be like that with other people. Maybe like to a small extent, but nothing like he was with me. I felt like I was just one of the people, like I never saw him be as mean to anyone else as he was to me. I don't know, again, I don't know why exactly, but oh crap, there's another school bus coming up. But a big part of why I would still be attracted to him regardless is because all of that stuff aside, he's still a damn good DJ. You know what I mean? Like, I think it's kind of like one of those like toxic relationships where somebody just, oh my God, some people can't figure out like that I'm parked on the side here. It's not rocket science. Oh, that's a nice big white van. Hello. So, oh my God, here come two more. How many of these are there? That's not a big school back there. That's like one of the smallest schools I've ever seen. Holy crap, you guys. One of the reasons, yes, by the time I get to Walmart, I still might try to do part of this video with driving, but I'm going to be so stressed out for the rest of this too. And by the time I get to Walmart, it's going to already be dark out. I'm pretty sure. Oh my God. Oh my God. Part of the reason I'm still attracted to this guy is because he's a damn good DJ, and I mean, like a really good DJ. And yeah, I was saying, okay, so I think it's maybe like part of like those toxic relationships where sometimes you know someone's bad for you, but like if the physical aspects are good, we never hooked up or anything like that. We never had like relations or a relationship outside of working together. But I'm just referring this like as an example. It kind of reminds me of like, you know, if somebody's in a toxic relationship or they know someone's bad for them, like mentally, emotionally, etc. But if some of the physical aspects are good, like in whatever way, shape or form, like sexually, or if you click that way, sometimes people will just let it slide for a while or not be able to tear themselves away or stop having contact with a person because of that. So again, we didn't have like a sexual thing, but in a way it almost felt like that because we are working in a strip club, and regardless of us never having gotten together or hooked up, like in a literal sense, we were working together off and on for years and years and years. And it is a sexual environment in nature in a strip club, obviously, or, you know, to an extent. And like with the amount of with how much I enjoyed being on stage and doing stage stuff while he was DJ, it did kind of feel almost a little bit sexual. Like, I mean, it was like really like amazing for me. It was better than relations for me a lot of times. It was better than that. Like, well, I don't really like relations anyways very much anymore, or for a long time. I did when I was very, very, very young, like early 20s. There was a period of time where I enjoyed that kind of stuff. But for the most part, for most of my adult life, and for so long now, it's been so long since I've done stuff like that. But even the more recent times that I had, like I think 7 or 8 years ago, I was not enjoying that stuff. And that's why I stopped bothering, you know what I mean? Because I just grew out of it and didn't enjoy it. And now I just like actively despise the entire concept of that kind of stuff, and have for a long time. But anyways, if I'm comparing my times on stage with this guy to the times that I had previously enjoyed physical relations type stuff, or even just like my own personal, like back when I used to be able to get enjoyment from things, which I haven't for a long time. Like, it just doesn't work anymore, unfortunately. My hormones are really messed up, apparently. They must be. I'm pretty sure they're messed up, because I'm very messed up. But anyways, when I compare my time on stage with this guy being DJ, it was better than any times that I had enjoyed myself in the past, when I was still able to do that in other various ways. Like, this was like the creme de la creme of satisfaction and enjoyment and pleasure for me, being on stage when he was the DJ. Like, it was like having a personal trainer, but better, because this was actually fun. Like, that was actually enjoyable, and I would just do things on stage when he was DJ. And also the other DJ as well, I got that with him too. And that's also a big part of why I was tipping them pretty much everything that I was making at the club. It was a combination of things. Yes, if I'm honest, the majority of the reason was the smoke machine situation and my allergy to that. And I kind of, in a lot of ways, felt like I almost didn't really have that much of a choice with how my situation was there for those years and those times working with them at the club. Holy crap. I would never imagine this many cars. I guess it's because of the school letting out or whatever. Holy crap. But it was also because, so yes, that was probably the big main reason, or it was my allergy and that situation. I kind of just felt stuck, and like I didn't really, again, but a big part of it as well was the fact that these guys are really good DJs, or they were when I was working with them. Like, I was getting amazing, amazing, amazing stage performances. And again, I don't know if other people would have thought that. I don't know if audience members or the crowd or people watching would have thought that. I probably still looked a hot mess and not that sexy, cellulite, just making a damn fool of myself. I literally didn't care, because it felt so good to me. Like, I was able to feel very good doing those things, to where I just didn't care. Like, who cares what anyone else thinks about that? Like, I didn't care about the money as much. Like, I didn't care. I just cared about how good it felt. Like, I loved being on stage with those guys. And there was, you know, that aspect of, obviously with the smoke machine, all throughout this, I'm also fighting off a panic attack or potential panic attack. And it's so psychologically messed up for me with that smoke machine situation in the background of all of this, or really the foreground for me as well. It really was a foreground kind of thing, but I was still able to transcend that. Even with it being in the foreground, I felt like I was still able to transcend that a lot, many, many times, just with how much I enjoyed being on stage overall, regardless, when they were working there. But what I was going to say, so there's a part of me, because of that, and because I am attracted to them and the guy that was there last night, you know, like, I'm just like kind of in my feelings, like with that, you know what I mean? Like, last night I was in my feelings basically, and I don't like to be like in that kind of mindset. And I was trying to like imagine a little bit like what an interaction or like interactions with myself and that guy could possibly be like in the future if he wasn't so mean to me, or if maybe he would just get past that dislike for me or whatever animosity he has towards me for whatever reasons. But then I was just like thinking about like the potential feelings that I might have for him. But it kind of got me to comparing the feelings that I think I have for my favorite manager. And it's just like night and day. It's so different, to where when I think about that DJ guy and my feelings for him, it's like I know so clearly, without a doubt in my mind, that he would be so bad for me. He is so bad for me, so toxic. Like, he's been so mean to me. Like, how could I be stupid enough to have feelings for someone like that that's been so mean to me, and to where it was such a messed up situation for so long. And then I compare it to this favorite manager guy, and it's like that favorite manager guy seems like, if he didn't have a girlfriend, that seems like the kind of guy, the kind of person that I would really be so blessed to be able to continue to have in my life, and to possibly, like, just in theory, to have someone like that, like possibly in a relationship kind of sense, you know, like that seems like the kind of person that I would want to have in my life, and that I would not need to have in my life, but there is a part of me that feels like that's the kind of guy that I need. Not literally need, because I have been single for so long, and I mean, I'm still in one piece so far, but I obviously struggle a lot. I don't know, like that's the kind of guy that would actually be good for me. You know what I mean? I feel like that's exactly what I would want and what I would need from a person, to where I feel like it would actually be a positive thing, like a positive situation. It would have a positive impact. He's been everything that I need from a person outside of the actual like romantic relationship kind of sense, because we've never like had anything together either. Like, I've purposely avoided that kind of thought process, and I've tried to just ignore my feelings that I have for him, because he does have a girlfriend. Primarily, that's the primary reason, but then also because I've known that he's going to be leaving, you know, going to be moving away so far. That's coming up so soon, and I've also known that for a while. But that adds to my feelings for him too, is he gave me a heads up about that so long, like so long ago, and so much prior to him actually moving away. And the fact that he did that, like, to like let me know like so much beforehand, so I had so much time to like know about it first and like try to prepare myself as best I could, like that means so much to me, because it just does. Oh my god. I don't know, like, it sucks. And then I just think about seeing these DJ guys at the club in the future when he's no longer there. I don't know, it's just gonna feel different, like very different. Oh, I want to see the timestamp right now. I want to see the timestamp. I can't. The rubber band that I have at the top of my phone, it covers the view count, which is the point, but it also covers the timestamp. So, but I know that when I watch this video back, if it even posts it all properly, I'm gonna want it to watch this part and be like, okay, what's the timestamp when I start crying? I better check it. 70 minutes. Wow, 70 minutes exactly. Okay, I gotta remember that. Crap. It's no big deal. I've cried on camera. I've cried on camera before, and I'm sure it'll happen again. Especially once this guy is officially no longer at the club anymore. I will cry on camera probably a lot more in the future as well. But There's more cars that have driven by. There's been more cars driving by than there could be kids in that school. There can't possibly, and more buses as well. There's more vehicles, buses, cars that have driven by. There can't be that many kids in the school. There's just, I've never seen this many vehicles drive by this area. And I have done live streams from this location in the past, around the same time. And half of these idiots can't figure out that I'm pulled off to the side of the road. Holy crap. There's literally another car behind me parked on the side, not that far back from me. There's no way this stream is gonna, oh God, anyway, post properly with all of this crap going on. So yeah, seeing that DJ guy there last night, I want to use my Swiffer pad to dab my eyes, but then it will, then I'll have to see the comments. Seeing that DJ guy there last night, also reminded me of my feelings for this manager guy. I'm not PMSing, by the way. Oh, but you know what? I think I am ovulating. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure lately when I'm like ovulating, it's like the same thing as PMS for me, which is great because now it's like I have 2 rounds of PMS. I'm literally, yeah, my hormones are messed up. I'm a slave to my hormones. Almost everyone's like a slave financially. I'm definitely a financial slave, it feels like, but then I'm also a slave to my hormones and my body and everything else pretty much. It's great, yeah. There's like a few days after my period ends that's like somewhat okay, maybe like hormonally or emotionally, and then the entire rest of the month I'm either ovulating, so PMSing for that, actually PMSing for the actual period, or on my period for the rest of the 3 weeks. There's like 1 week there that's like somewhat okay, and that's already come and gone again, and now I'm like the ovulation version of the PMS. After this, it will be the actual PMS for the actual period, which is even better. The sun is out. We've had some sunny days lately, which is great. Oh, and this was also pretty pathetic. So, oh my God, there's another school bus coming. How is that possible? Oh my God. There can't possibly be another one. Holy crap. And here comes another car. Okay. I should just start driving, maybe. I've already stopped crying, so I was gonna say I could start driving to distract myself from my emotions more. I think we'll. Oh. Okay, yeah, maybe I should start driving. The sun's already going down though, so the sun's gonna be in my eyes the entire time that I'm driving. It's also very bad lighting for me when I start driving on that road with the sun on my, I notice when the sun's on my face, it's worse lighting for me usually, which I don't like. It's not flattering at all. Again, I'm not photogenic. I have to be very, very specific. I can only get like one exact angle and one exact type of lighting to look not horrible, or not as horrible as I would normally do. Any other thing outside of that is not good for me. But yeah, I should maybe just, I only have a few things left on my notes to talk about. Excuse me. So I guess I'm just gonna start driving, so this should be fun. Hold on, there's another car coming. And then, holy crap. This is not a good time to start driving. But I mean, I want to go. I didn't come out literally just to do this video. Like, I have to at least do something else. So, oh my God. Here we go. Fun, fun. I love Walmart so much. Hold on. This hairbrush makes me happier than the other one because this one's pink. Oh God. I'm just gonna do this the entire time. Like, try to calm myself down. Off we go. Oh God. I originally was thinking, oh my God, this is gonna be bad lighting for myself and the camera. Well, I can't see, first of all, doing the stream after I went to Walmart. But yeah, I don't know. I just wanted to do this. I just don't want to do my stream today in the dark, and there just isn't a whole lot of daylight, or there just wasn't going to be. There isn't. The sun's obviously coming down now. There isn't a lot of daylight left now, and there already wasn't going to be a lot of daylight left by the time that I got up, because I didn't get to bed until like 5 o'clock this morning, which is actually, I mean, normally I don't get to bed until like 6 at least in the morning, sometimes 7 or 8 after I work at the club, or pretty much just any time, even my days off. But so yeah, I really wasn't able to get up. I mean, I got up shortly after. I still got up, I don't know, I got up the same time today as I did yesterday, but I'm just no good at time management at all. I'm very bad at it. Oh gosh. Yeah, so my grandmother sent me this random package. I don't know why. She already sent me one for my birthday in October and then for Christmas. So I don't know why she would be sending this random package now, but she sent me a box of Rice Krispies and a box of crackers and a can of peaches, and and pillowcases. There's that stuff in the box, and then there's pillowcases. And then there was this thing that she made that's like this hood garment. I haven't tried it on yet because I just haven't really had time yet. And I honestly don't know how to put it on or how to wear it. It's really weird, but maybe I do kind of want to show it on camera because I get a kick out of it. So I wanted to call her earlier to like say thank you and stuff. But yeah, I wanted to just, maybe I'll just have to do that later because I wanted to do this video while there's still some daylight, even though this lighting is terrible for me right now.